wouldn't encourage no man of a old or more mature age to wait to let the expectations be known. Man, I'm letting them know on the first date. So now I'm going to save my money. Let me know if I'm going to make it on the second date because she can't handle my expectations. And that's cool. Do me a solid. Save me a few coins. And I move on to the next lady that can handle my expectations, that can live up to what I'm expecting from her, and then can provide what I'm looking for. I'm not going to waste my goddamn time with these efforts. That I would never tell a young man to do it. I'm interrogating you off rip with my expectations. Now, if you can handle them, we can move forward. If you can't, I'm gonna leave you at the restaurant and move on.
I think my dating strategy probably was different because I went in with no expectations because it was mostly about sex in the beginning. And then when I figured out I liked you, then I could give you my expectations. So I may be speaking from my personal bias. So, that may be a faux pas I have because of the way I approached it, which is also why I say I don't see that many bad women because they didn't qualify in the beginning to get to the point of let's make this relationship. So I don't count them as bad women because I only want, like, I was going in to have sex. So it didn't move past that part. Because I've heard the argument made, it's a lot of bad women out here. If you was in a relationship before this, or you've met women and you didn't wife the first women you met, then they're bad women. I don't view it that way. I view it as I had a specific intention. And once that was met, then potentially how I felt about you post that experience led me into what I was going to do moving forward. So it just may be different from that aspect.
I think a lot of that has to do with the level of attraction, to be honest, because if a woman's really feeling you, you'd be surprised some of the nonsense you could get away with on the first date. But if she doesn't like you, then you have to kind of lower your expectations. If a woman's truly attracted to you, you can demand what it is that you want. If she's not off you like that, then you're going to have a lot more problems. You're going to get a lot of pushback. But as long as you are the guy that she's truly interested, that she truly wants to make hers, then that's the best time. As soon as you figure that out, which might be the very first date, then you just have to let her know what it is going to be to obtain you in the first place.
I just going to get Shannon in that we are in a selfish season.
Well, Shannon lives in LA, man. It's a selfish season all year round.
Yeah, man. Selfishness, boy. James, you talking about those homeless women? They were just like, I don't want no. We got to let them go, James. Let them go. Focus on the young ones and the ones that's willing to reprogram their minds. All the rest of them, let them go. Ignore them. Let them buy a dog and die alone. Ultimately, Clout had the right answer in the beginning when Clout was talking. He was talking about what we call now hyper individualism. That's the term. Hyper individualism is where you are the center of attention and you are the only thing right in a wrong world. And everything is about you and you only. You only matter in your family, in your friend groups, at work. And there's a lot of people walking around today living a hyper individualistic life. They're just by themselves. And people are documenting it, man. You see it on Instagram. You see it on TikTok. People recording themselves, sipping coffee all by themselves. There's no more fellowship. You go on, I don't know when the last time you guys walked on a college campus. When I was in school, because I graduated in the year 2000. So, when I was in school in the ice ages, we couldn't wait to get out of class and meet up at the econ building. I went to Cal State Long Beach. My last university was Cal State Long Beach. And we all couldn't wait to meet up with each other. And I was with the Noobs because I was a Kappa, and we all met up and everybody fellowshipped, and that was our Instagram. And we all got together and people was dating and partying and having fun. And then when it's time to go to class, we all went to class. I don't know if you guys been on campus recently, but everybody between classes like this walk, and it's a trip how they walk and don't hit each other. It's the wildest thing on how people is in their phone walking and don't hit each other. They just I guess they got an eye on top of their head, and there is no more chilling on the yard. There is no more going up to the University Student Union or going to whatever college you went to where everybody used to hang out 20 years ago, 10 years ago. They don't do that no more. They just walk right through. Hyper individualism. Everybody is all by themselves. Everybody is about living on an island. And one of the biggest issues, as you brothers are saying, is with women, because in relationships, personal relationships, who's the one that says, I'm not happy? And why isn't she happy? Because she's selfish. Now, like we said, man, women are selfish naturally. They're built in selfish. I was watching this Instagram clip. This woman was talking about, a guy gave her a gold digger test. And that, you know, on the third date, he let her go. And he told her, he said, you know, you didn't take care of me, or, you know, I've taken you to dinner. We spent money. I've spent money on you. And you not even thought about, you haven't even offered buying me something small or a token, or, you know, maybe making something or something like that, is what she said. So she kind of like was trying to go off on him. And I went into the comments. This was an argument on Instagram, and I flamed up the comments, was like, that wasn't a gold digger test. That was a nurturing test. See, a lot of people, women particularly like to rephrase stuff to make it work for them, their narrative. It wasn't really a gold digger test to see if you was going to spend money on him. He wanted to see if you had the proclivity to be a nurturer like you're supposed to be. And when you failed the test by seeing that he was a providing male and you didn't give anything back in terms of nurturing his needs, you failed the test. But you're calling it a gold digger test. And that's why we got to just let these older women, or the ones that's hard-headed, James, go. Now, Clout, we was talking about that in the back chat. No, that was at the opening of the show. We got that live. We was talking about Christmas gifts right when we started, because JR had asked us, you know, did everybody get anything, or are we happy with? And then I had kind of went in when we were saying, oh, you know, the thought that counts. No, we got that live. Fuck that thought that counts. We opened the show saying that shouldn't be the case. Now, men are assertive in the workplace. We go for what we want in the workplace. This is one of the reasons why there's a pay gap, because men are not, as Dr. Jordan Peterson says, agreeable. That's a personality trait that women have. Women are more agreeable than men. Men say, look, man, I want 75,000. And the job says, well, you know, we only paying 60. He says, all right, well, call me back when, you know, when you could come up with another 15,000. Woman goes on the same job. She says, I want 75,000. Job says, we only paying 60. She says, okay, I'll take it. So they get the job at $15,000 less. Then they call the guy up later, a week later, and said, hey, you know what? We need 2 of you here. We found some extra money. We'll pay you the 75,000. That's the pay gap. But in relationships, we're not agreeable. And that's the problem. That's the issue that I'm currently having. See, as far as I'm concerned, selfish is bad for women, but it's good for men. Yes, Lewis, you're absolutely right. We need to set the tone. In fact, I want more men to be selfish than they ever have been. And the reason why is because when men are selfish, everybody benefits. Because the thing that men want the most is to produce. The thing that men want the most is the more money I make, the more my family is good. Whenever I come up, everybody wins. The things that men want is children. That's a great thing for human beings to reproduce. We aren't reproducing right now. We're having issues with populating the earth. Men want legacy and children, but what are we hearing about women? Oh no, I'm not having no kid. Hyper individualism. That's an issue with women. And this is good. So since this is King talk, and I like to talk to the kings, fellas, I want you guys to be a little bit more selfish. A little bit more selfish. Like the young lady in the video said, you know, that women are on this, they're in their selfish season. Absolutely right. And that's not good for society.